What's going on? Danny Crew, it's Danny Drew here, and we are back for another day of Catan. In today's video, we've got a student game review with the one and only Mr. Pernapple. And by the way, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. All big, happy family. There we go. Hi, YouTube. What's up, YouTube? What's going on? I love it. I love it. Thank you, Booperinos. We're having a great time here. So if you like Catan, Catan content, live, silly bloopers, strategy, whatever, we have a good time. Feel free to come by. All the links and stuff in the description. Essentially, we're going to go play by play on Pern's game here and talk about his placement strategies, talk about the plans that he has, and see how can we optimize his game. I know Pern's a fantastic player, great dude, super excited to have him here. He's actually in the audience as well, so we get to grill him live. If you're interested in these kind of things too, like if you want your own games being reviewed and you can record them, hit me up in the DMs, let me know. But all right. If you're ready, let's get the show started. And first thing I like to do, I always say this at the beginning of every game review, is I like to look at the individual resources on the board, right? So just to get a sense of what's in supply, but then also get a sense of maybe what's accessible versus not. So the first thing I'm noticing is this massive kind of brick pile up here, 8, 5, 10. I'm not necessarily looking at that spot, but I'm just looking at the fact that there is a concentration of brick, and it's really probably 1 to 2 players are going to get bricks. So interesting to note. I'd say high to medium amounts of wood here. Also, the wheat's interesting. It feels like it's kind of relatively balanced, so everyone's going to get a little bit of wheat on this board. Pretty accessible. Two really nice ore tiles here. I feel like maybe 3 players will get onto the ore here. And the sheep's interesting too. It's like a very clumped board a little bit. Like the sheep's clumped, the brick's clumped. So kind of feels like a really interesting balance. And we have 2 road players and 2 army players. That would be the ideal scenario here, right? Yeah, I mean, him being in second, I really love this board at second. He can either go the ore wheat sheep route with like a 5, 9, 10 and just kind of like take advantage of the wheat, or he can go on the 8, 5, 10 and take advantage of the brick. That's my intuition, just knowing he's a very principled player. He's probably going to pick one of those spots depending on where first goes. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Pern. What else is on this board? Like port play wise, I guess the one disadvantage of the 8, 5, 10 here to me is that it doesn't really have a great port, right? Like maybe, like ideally you'd like to pick up wheat on the way back, but there's no wheat and sheep combination. So it's like getting the sheep port. I mean, I guess you could go all in like 6, 9, 3, 8, 5, 10, pure production, wood port, sheep port. Yeah, okay. My gut says he's either going to go on the 8, 5, 10, have dominance on the wood and the brick, or he's going to go something like the 6, 5, 11, which also is another balanced pick where you're getting the best ore, you're getting the best wheat, you're getting that touch of brick, and then you do actually have a lot of sheep out, something like maybe the 9, 10, 2, 8, 3, 4, 6, 9, 3 if you want to just get adventurous. So I think these are going to be his 2 main picks here. It's like, does he want to fight devs, or does he want to fight more of a production road style game? What would you do at home? I guess maybe some points here. Too much juice. Hey, sir, hope you're having a fine night. I'm doing much better with you here, of course. Yeah, I guess Twitch, where would you go here? What do you like the most? Just knowing my style, I like taking rare resources. I also like having a lot of trading possibilities. So I kind of like the 8, 5, 10, but again, I'm a little dissuaded on the fact that the port play is not ideal, right? Like the ore port, my least favorite port in Catan, and sheep port, well, it could be playable, if you get something like production galore here. 6, 5, 11 looks nice. It does. Yeah, I don't really have any issues with 6, 5, 11. The one thing you just have to contest with is like you are playing devs, you are playing army, and I think that's a perfectly fine strategy. Pern, do you know what level this game was played as far as ELO is concerned? All right, Pern's really in the tank here. Maybe I should have just jumped ahead a little bit. All right, we're going to... All right, we'll just let it play out. I mean, at this point, we're... All right, he's decided. There's no way he's switching the last second. Yeah. So, yeah, 6, 5, 11, I think it's a good pick, right? 3 unique resources. The one thing I am conscious of is, like, what do you think you're going to get on the way back? Because the port play is probably not going to be ideal. I mean... Typically, that's the big disadvantage when you place in the center early on, is you give up a lot of the 3 hexes around the coast so that all of a sudden, like, you don't get access to a really good port. So it's like, for instance, like 693 wood port sucks here. 834, both of these ports aren't great. Maybe 843 down and then trade your way to prosperity is an idea. Yep, 8510. I think again, dominance on the brick. I really like it. I think if you had to put a gun to my head and say, Drew, pick a spot, I think I'll go 8510. I think I would here. What's going on, Rax? Finally, I catch your stream. Well, welcome. It's always fun and a first-time chat. We got a few first-time chatters tonight. Appreciate that. Oh, I accidentally penned the wrong message. All right. We're going to unpin that message. Hold on. All right, screw it. I need a mod. Kelly, come mod. All right, for fourth here, what do we do? This is like a very interesting fourth here, right? Because I think intuitively he's going to have to play off the or something like the 6-3-11 left and get to the 4-11 so he can like fix his ratios of wheat there. So you could do something along the lines of like 9-4-11 left, 6-3-11 left. I actually quite like that idea where you get access to all the resources. You're going to have pretty good ratios of ore, wheat, and sheep when you get onto the 4-11, and you get the advantage of the port. And then after you point left on the 9-4-11, I think one of these spots will be open, right? So you could definitely see a situation where, you know, they road settle 4-11, they road settle 3-10-11, and now they have this dual threat where they can buy devs, but they can also fight road. Let's see. Did I see that instantly? We'll see how experience is going to treat me here. Is 8-4-10, 9-10-11 ever a play? 8-4-10, 9-10-11. Yeah, so you're kind of going on to like the road meta there, right? The only thing with that is you're probably locking the center to where you don't get any space. Versus like, I kind of like, ooh. Is he going 6-3-11? Okay. I mean, it's what I said, but the syntax was not quite ideal, and I do think this is kind of a dead road. I mean, maybe they've seen the future, and like kudos to them if they get one of these 3 hex spots, but my gut says probably not. K-Mac, what is good? I've been watching your videos for months on YouTube, also my first stream. Super happy to finally catch a stream. Thank you so much, K-Mac. I appreciate that. Man, we got a lot of first-time chatters. One of those nights. There we go. So this was the setup I talked about, right? I was like, with the 8-5-10, if this player can get onto the 6-9-3, it's like, okay, you don't have wheat, but who cares? You got the sheep port. All right. So now Pern's in a situation. Does he go for more of a traditional or wheat sheep? Does he go for production and trade? I think one thing, so very interesting here. I guess because he's put his flag onto devs, right? We know this, right? We kind of said like that was a 6-5-11. In my mind, he's got to start figuring out like what's going to be the strategy to optimize his development card game. One thing to really take note of here is also the fact that like green's going to be flooded with sheep. So there might be a lot of tradability. So for instance, if you took something like, let's say the 8-4-3, you could actually probably trade quite a bit with green to where you don't have to play with the sheep, right? Because you have a ton of wheat, they have a ton of sheep. You become natural trading partners. If you want to play slightly more offensive and not have to like worry about trading, then probably like 9-10-2, where you just become a little bit more self-sufficient there, right? You have essentially everything but the wood, but there's a ton of wood. And then Pern, oh, he almost picked it. He almost picked the 8-4-10. And then you have the 8-4-10. It's kind of similar in the sense like the 8-4-3, right? Like you're not going to get the sheep, but you might have some tradability with some of the extra wheat. Yeah, I mean, I guess the one advantage of the 8-4-10 is you do potentially get access to the 3-1 port, right? So if you can get a couple rolls, you can road settle and then maybe port all this wood. So that could be a play for him to say like, hey, I'll get to a 3-1 port. I'll churn all this additional wood into sheep or whatever he needs in the moment. And then he can kind of play like a pseudo development card game that way as well. So it really depends on how he wants to play this. I mean, you can make a case for literally 8-4-3, 8-4-10, or the 9-10-2. But I actually like my style. I love to trade, and I love to play kind of working the board. So I don't think I would pick up the sheep. I think I would just work a situation where I'm trading sheep consistently. Pokey, what is good? I was going to say, by the way, I think if you take the 9, 10, 11, someone said 9, 10, 11, 8, 4, 10, I think the board locks up to where as a road player, you don't have a lot of like open space. So, ooh, tricky. All right, so the game starts. Now, let's just take a quick pause, right? So let's just take a stock of everything that's going on here. Kind of similar to what I said. Remember I said like Pern could take the 8-4-3 and then he could be the wheat master and then shipping some of the wheat to green. It kind of feels obviously like Black's taking that play now, right? Where he has so much wheat, unbelievable amounts of wheat. He's probably going to get cheap trades, I think, pretty frequently. So as Pern, one of his objectives here is to try to snipe as many wheat for sheep trades as possible, because if Black's getting sheep, then that means Pern's losing that opportunity, A, to get the sheep, but also to make sure that Black's not pulling development cards and taking away one of his best win conditions. So right off the bat, that's something I'm conscious of, is I want to make sure that Black's not getting the good trades, because I think they're my biggest competitor. I'm not really too thrilled about Red's game. He has literally one place to go to, which is the 4-11. Typically, as an Or-Wheat sheep player, I always talk about this principle of +2 settles. So you want to usually get a road settle on an effective port, and then another road settle is just there as a point, right? So like you don't have to pull 3 VPs to win a game. You can road settle instead, and it just kind of supplements your final points. So the fact that he's kind of put himself in an awkward situation, I'm not crazy about it. Pern, he's got to make those sheep trades. He's got to kind of work that angle as well and get to a port as fast as he can. And then Green, I actually love Green's setup. Frankly, if I had to put my money, like if you had to say, Drew, which setup do you want to play here? I'd play Green setup in a heartbeat. Just because it's so flexible. He's got all the space, unbelievable ports, unbelievable trading power with blue and black. So 8-5-10. I thought it was a moneymaker. I thought it was a moneymaker for sure. I think Green is in the best position. I agree. Let's see here. All that wood is mega clunky without a port. Shix, what is good? The 3-1 was the deciding factor. Yeah, so the Jojo, this is actually a game review of Mr. Pern, who's also in the chat as well. Okay, so he's saying the 3-1 is one of the main features here. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, the question is how quickly can you get it and at what cost, right? Because you're probably going to be trading with already the strongest player, Green. So let's get the game started here. All right, Pern. So what is this? Black is looking sheep for wheat, right? This is immediately that trade, and right there. I think in my mind, I would be talking, yeah, you can go get a sheep. I mean, literally, Green has sheep for days. Yeah, I mean, that trade's going to happen a lot early on while they're trying to get their settles. I think this is reasonable. Ooh, you got the... You lucky dog, you got the 1 and 4. I think I would have extorted there just to make sure I get the sheep. So that way, for instance, if I roll 6, I can buy a dev. But okay, no big deal. All right, Pern, your game is going to rely essentially on how quickly can you get to the port here. Yeah, why is my chat not updating? Maybe agree with Black not to give wheat to Green. Well, the thing is, he's incentivized to do it, right? And the thing is, like, Green just got his wheat, and that's his first brick. He's not going to trade this brick. It's very unlikely he's going to trade this brick, right? Now, if he rolls another one, he might do a 2 card. Like if he rolls a 5 or 10. Yeah, right? He needs the wood, but he's not going to give up the brick because he wants to drop the road. Exactly. Oh, man. So in my mind, what is Pern's priority here? So let's let him roll and let's talk about what he should do here. All right. This is always good when you are at the beginning of the game to figure out what are your main objectives. I always say you kind of have like 2, no more than 3 objectives. Let's just keep it simple for like Twitch, everyone at Twitch World. No more than 2 objectives, right? Like what are the 1 to 2 things you need to accomplish in the short term to make sure that you have success? And I would say 80% of the time, 85% of the time, it usually involves going to a port, which is like your efficiency. So the 3-1's obviously the target. I mean, if he goes brick port, then I'm going to slap him silly. And ideally, with his situation, building the city. Those two pieces are going to be his main function. The port is all about his efficiency lever, and then the city is going to be all about his effectiveness lever, right? Like getting the 6-5-11 city is just a massive push in his production. And usually the way that you're going to prioritize that is a function of like your hand as well, right? Like for him, looking at his hand, he's probably going to port for the brick and drop a road. I think him porting for the ore and passing, not ideal. Porting for the ore and buying a dev, probably not ideal. But the sooner he can get to the 3-1, the sooner he can start to use all this extra production here. 3-1 port, yeah, Pokey knows. Pokey's been through TSI. So you know my teaching. So that's what I would say. I personally here, I would port for the brick and drop a road. And that way, if the 11 rolls, let's say in the next orbit or two, he can settle and start to work the city angle. Yeah. All right. Again, I don't see this trade going through. In fact, I don't even think that exists, as far as I know, because he used the brick, right? So good tracking here. I usually find, like, think of trading as, like, you have a social capital bar, right? If you just spam trades left and right, you're kind of, like, giving up some of your social capital. And that's why, like, just being smart about your trades, perfect. It drops a road, right? And now, the Catan gods are going to give him the 11 very soon because he's playing optimally. That's the way it works around here. Ooh, that's an interesting trade. That's also an interesting trade. Okay. So now we need to start tracking Green's hand, right? He's got one brick. He's missing the wood, I believe. He needs, so like for instance, if let's say like you can get an extra wood and he rolls an extra brick, you can definitely do wood for brick. Oh, the mono. Oh, red. That's disgusting. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hold on. Mistakes were made. Hold on. Oh, my computer short-circuited after that. Hold on. It was here. Okay. It was here, right? Okay. Thought you'd like that mono. I hate that mono. I hate that mono. The thing is, like, so for Red's position, well, no, I love that mono for you. Like, if somebody wants to waste literally the most powerful card in the game to effectively you turn it into a yop, right? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Usually, as a rule of thumb, especially early on, you want the mono to be worth at least 2 points. So if he can get like a road settle and a city, if he can get like a city and a dev, maybe you can get like 3 or 4 devs. Hold your monos. Do not get impatient. I don't care if you see the 2 brick. Don't get impatient like that. But at least there is a play here if the 11 rolls or the 5 or 10 rolls, Pern can still settle, which is good. That's brutal. That's a brutal play. Okay? And now I'm also thinking too, yes, you need to be talking to Green saying, I can give you 2 wheat, right? Like you got to be taking the wheat out of the sheep out of Black's hand here. Because, I mean, look what's going on here, right? These sheep trades that Black's getting. Okay, you need a wheat here, brother. I think you steal from Black. I think you've got a pretty good shot, honestly, to get the wheat and clear your hand. You can also get a sheep and buy a dev, and I don't hate that as well. Ooh. All right, let's see a trade, man. I don't think you're getting. There's no shot you're getting it for 1, but two cards, perfect. Yeah, I mean, ship it. If he takes it, you take it. Yeah, you need to do something. Oh, take. Oh, nice. So I like that. I like the fact that he made an effort here to build the city. A lot of players, I think, would just be kind of like dev happy. Be like, I have a dev, buy a dev. Again, remember, we have 2 main objectives. Drop a city, drop a settle on a port. So, and like I said to you, it's like sometimes the way you build your position is going to be a function of your hand. And in this situation, it was screaming for him to find a way to get to the ore trade for the city. So that was awesome. That was a great trade. Almost as good as your 0 brick mono. Bro, look, I did that for the people. Don't be disrespectful like that. Also, I want to note something too. Let's just shoot back a little bit. He gave up. You realize what he did, right? He gave up the sheep. I feel like a lot of people would get like romantic about the sheep, be like, "Oh my god, but I just traded forward. I don't produce sheep." Who cares? There's literally so much sheep production on this board. Be willing to get rid of the sheep, knowing it's going to come back to you, right? Like you've got tons of tradability again with green. So some players get like funny about it, where it's like, I can't trade the sheep. Oh my god, it's like, yes, you can. If that means you're getting a city, you can certainly trade the sheep. All right, let's go back to regular programming here. All right, so now we're doing great. If we can get like an 11, and then we'll throw 2 cards at Mr. Green for the sheep. I don't know if I necessarily like the 9 block. Obviously, for Pern, he wants the sheep production out there, right? Because eventually, ooh, I don't like that trade. That looks like a Yop or something to me, man. That's like a Yop or Road Builder, 4 for 1 or a Road Builder. Yeah, you're getting spanked here. Good night, sweet prince. He should plow you. He should plow you. I think the port is critical here for black. Oh. All right. For the culture. All right. Let's talk about this. Did I miss something? Was there a deal, Pern? All right, so here's what we know. We know that you don't have to block black for the rest of the game. You don't have to steal from him. He's not a threat. He's not going to cause any issues to you. Honestly, you just have to worry about green now. Like, I think, for black, that's a huge win for his position to get that port. His efficiency with all this weak goes incredibly up, but also he stops you, who is arguably one of the strongest development card players in this game. So for him to be able to do like a double whammy there and not take advantage of the fact that he got the Road Builder, he got the card he needed to do it, bruh, I don't know what to tell you, man. TSI. Man, it's a pretty smooth game for you. Now here, in my mind, you've already blocked the sheep. You need the sheep. You want the sheep. Go block the resource you can trade. Perfect example here is you should be blocking the 8 every day of the week. Why? Well, this guy produces brick, and if you can stop his road production, then you can start to send some of your wood to him at a nice premium. So I think the 8's a fantastic block here. Oh, he's going for the ore for non-block. I don't think you need the ore here. I think you need to think about your positional advantage here, right? Like think about, yeah, this doesn't hurt anybody. There's already a ton of wheat on this board. Dang it. Be decisive. These are things, by the way, for Pern. Yeah, 100% I would take the port. For sure. These are things like I wouldn't even question it. I would know for a fact if I have a robber or if I roll a 7, I want to block. Oh my god, a good deal. I want to block the 8. I want to block the resource that I can trade. Okay, so another 6. He's robbing another city. Also, haven't seen an 11 yet. Ideally we'll get there. Black is lagging in real life. Because give me a non-block next time. What is that? A lot of sheep getting thrown around here. Feels like you haven't had a lot of successful, yeah, this makes sense. You haven't had like too many amazing rolls, it feels like. Like you've got some decent trades and good timing here. There it is, man. That's the meta right there. Remember? Wheat for sheep. Black and black, red, black, green are going to be doing that trade a lot. All right, man. I think you need to you can go for a sheep here. I think the 8's still a great block. You saying non-block here, please? No, you just stole from me. Okay, okay. Oh. Again, I think because of the fact that we're already seeing black make some mistakes, I would honestly probably take the gas off of them a little. I'd be like, I'm not scared about them. They're not playing this properly. They're not going to play with a port for the entire game. Again, thinking long term, I think green's a bigger problem here. All right, come on. Where's your rolls at? Where's your rolls? Yeah, man, you could have stopped that settle. You maybe could have stopped that settle from green. Now he's live. He pops a dilly. No, he's just saving. I think, whoa. Oh, brother. Yeah, I was slow on the trades this game. Got to be more decisive. Yep. That's a big part of Catan. Man, everyone's going for the non-block meta here. I don't think there's any brick out there. Nice. Yeah, I mean, for black, he's got to block the 6. I think to try to get brick, it's like, no need. Essentially, Pern just needs 111, though. All right, so it's... There goes the devs, man. Hey. Man, now if you can do something like wood for sheep, that could be a potential deal. Nope, I don't think that exists. There you go. Yeah, try the old back to the well. And keep in mind too, like the butterfly effect of the game. Like if you put maybe a little bit more pressure on the 8 wood, maybe you would be making a lot more trades, right? Like you'd be able to slow him down from settling. You'd be able to ship some of your wood for sheep or your wood for maybe extra brick. So that's like a good like point to think about is like how to make your cards more valuable with your blocks. Why doesn't he want the wheat? Green's being weird with trades. We'll see. I mean, look, some players are just weird. It's just the way it is. It's a reasonable block. We need a 6, though. We're not getting 6s at all. I'm assuming we're going to see another knight. Oh, man. Kind of a little annoying, right? He's not playing a knight here. Bro, it is a city. It's a city. Is this true? It is a city. Interesting decision here to try to break the city. Does he try to break it? Oh, you lucky dog. You need 11 here, man. Pern is the king. He is the king of rolling 7s. I guess, I mean, you got to try to get a sheep here, I think. Sheep is definitely the play. I think you just keep it on the 8, man. I think the 8's just a good block. I mean, I would be going for the sheep. I want the rare resources, right? Like, the thing is, there you go. And now, see, if you stole the sheep, you'd be primed and ready to get the settle. I think there is a point, like, okay, being defensive is good, right? Obviously, black, if he gets momentum, you want to slow him down. But black has some big issues. He doesn't produce the sheep. He is flooded with a resource that, like, he can't port. I'm not really that scared of black, I'll be honest with you. And the fact that he doesn't have a city, again, maybe it's just you're undermining green a little bit here, but I think green can have like a really big turn. Like let's say they road settle here quickly in the 9-10-2 and they get a couple rolls. The city comes quickly. So yeah, I think you just got to go for the rare resources. This feels like a little bit too defensive versus like if you had the offensive option, you're just in a better place. Yep. And, I mean, production's doing good here, man. Ooh. Oh, wow. You're not getting hit? That's amazing. You're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky, man. You're very lucky. And I think Pern's game, it's going to depend on how he kind of like maneuvers into the middle game here because I don't know if he's going to be able to go for devs, but given the proximity and the fact that he could probably easily settle, easily connect here. Oh, interesting. He could go for road. I don't think that's impossible. All right, there's definitely a play here. There's definitely a play here to get a sheep. Ooh. Yeah, 100%. You can throw like a wood. See, for me, I would do like wood, wheat. Because I think that's a trade most likely green will take. There you go. Wood, wheat. Boom, boom, boom. Green says yes. Okay, throw more cards at him. Kitchen sink. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I'd get aggressive here. And he'll probably... Nope, don't have that. Pretty good trade here for him, man. You can also do a road wheat. Yeah, exactly. And I guess if all else fails here, man, you can drop a road. It's not that bad. There you go. All right. Good job, man. There, look, this is a perfect example right there. Most people would give up, right? Oh, the 2 cards didn't work. Oh, the other variation didn't work. These are good trades. These are valuable trades of the green. He will take them. You just got to find the right combination sometimes. You got to be like patient. But there you go. Like, how many times did you trade there? And I'm not saying spam every variation, but find something that he might find useful. Like, you don't know who this player is. You don't know how he values you the game. You did what? 6 trades, 7 trades, but you got the deal done. Otherwise, you drop a road and you got like a stuck hand. So it's a perfect example of like understanding the power of trading. It's like, okay, he gave up 3 cards, but he's getting the port, which, to be fair, he shouldn't have the port in the first place. But hey, that is Black's problem and not ours. Perfect. Now we're live. Our efficiency, we got Devil City. This is amazing. Amazing. And you can look, right? Black spent all this time goofing around, dropping settles. He bought some devs. We can murder him on production and development cards. He's only got 1 knight played on us versus like, let's say we can pop this orbit maybe once or twice, pull 2 knights. All of a sudden, we're just smacking the hell out of Black. We get army. So, Pern, that was nicely done. That was nicely done. There's something to be said about trusting the cards, you know? Okay, it's definitely you here now. Your production is just wicked. Perfect. And now you could go to... Perfect. There is a trade here. There's a double pop here, which is 2 ore for 2 sheep, and then pop twice. He should take this in most cases. Nope. Greedy. So, like, if you did 2 ore for 2 sheep, he'll take that. Which, actually, I don't hate that at all. Ooh, where are you going? Where are you going with this? 2 ore for 2 sheep. Green needs a city, you need sheep. Also, don't mind this as well. I think that's a good trade for green. Okay, so Pern's not as aggressive as me, but he's got the right idea, right? Like, we need to go and buy some devs. We're happy with that. Okay, so now the game starts. One of the things when you buy development cards is, you know, there's a big meta about making deals with knights and non-blocks and non-steals. Because of the amount of sheep that's usually on this board, you should be able to get a sheep with most turns, right? Every time you flip a knight or roll a 7, you should be able to get sheep. Which is why I felt like he didn't really do a great job deal-making enough with his knight to where, like, ideally he should always have sheep in his hand ready for these moments, versus now he's, like, playing from behind trying to figure out his hand. So, like, a really good player kind of looks into the future a bit and, like, stockpiles cards if they need it. So, you probably missed a couple sheep trades, you know, earlier in the game. But you're live. You got production. You're buying devs. Okay. Red needs a city. Red got a city. But now Red's been in, like, a weird place where they've been buying devs, but then they get their city now. But it feels like he's probably going to lose pacing. It's kind of tough. Like, where do you block? You probably put it on, like, the 4 or the 3 just to stop the devs. Here it goes. All right, sheep for non-block. Let's see it. Brick. I would make a deal with green and say, hey, I'll give you an ore for a sheep. and or in a non-block for a sheep, should go through in most cases. You don't need brick, man. Like, unless you're deciding you want to focus on road now, but I think your game is really built into development cards here. And you could steal from green here. He's got some decent cards. Break is perfect. Perfect. Now you have ore for sheep as an idea. I don't know who takes that trade, though. The thing is, the wood's only going to be valuable with the brick, right? So there's not that much brick on the board. So, like, shifting the... Ooh, I kind of like this. Frankly, I like the idea of buying a development card. I'm not... Yeah, so... I think this is a point right here. Right here's a point. This is it, Perd. How's it going, AOD? What is good? What are you playing for here? You building to 10, you're going for road. In my eyes, you can fight army here, right? Let's say you made a deal, you popped once, you have another knight. Red doesn't really have a lot of production at this point, so he's probably not buying another dev this turn. You play the knight next turn, you're at 2 knights, you buy another knight, all of a sudden you have army. I think that's a missed opportunity. It's not so critical, in my opinion, for you to have to drop a road and do nothing with it. And who knows, like, Black might have another road builder and might decide to apply you. I don't know. But I think that was a moment where you had to make a decision to say, am I going for road or am I going for army? I don't see the value of dropping the road there when you can buy dev. But yeah. I love getting 3 ore per 6. Thank you for the sub, by the way, AOD. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, you got a ton of cards. So in my opinion, I think the popping is absolutely the right play. And there's so many deals, remember? Like, ore for sheep. It kind of feels like maybe you're going for like kind of like a longest road cities build here now. Like, you're going to settle for 6, city, take longest road maybe. But I just think you have to see armies there for you. Now, as far as I can tell, like, he might buy a dev here. Okay. Oof. So ore for sheep, definitely an idea here. Back to the well, ore for sheep. Like, your hand's busted, so you have to do something, right? There you go. There you go. That's a trade. Interesting. Now, one thing you could also do here is you could also drop some roads. Like, I'm okay with that. Yep. Yeah, I mean, your hand's a little funky here. A little funky, but now think about it. If you bought a knight last turn, like, you produced 2 brick on the 11 anyways. So who cares about that 1 brick you could have sold, right? Like, you could have bought a dev. You'd have 2 knights now. You'd flip it. You'd extort for the sheep. You'd pop another dev. Like, I think you would potentially have army in your hand this orbit if you went for the dev. And if it's not army, it's, you know, it's VPs, it's monos, it's road builders, right? Like, these are all good devs in your position. Even a Yop. A Yop's not bad here because it's so much utility. You can buy two devs with it. You can use it for settles. You can use it for cities. But that, in my mind, that was a critical moment. And now it's like, if red buys a dev here, ooh. Yeah, well, now red, because he's got nowhere else to go, he's just going to buy devs, and now he gets army. Don't roll a 7, brother. Oh, I feel it. Oh. Ooh. Well, in a sense, it's kind of good, because at least red, he needs the ore. I see what you're saying, but green also embargoed me and wasn't responding to extortion. Well, I think I would have stolen from him a little bit more. See, like, here's a perfect moment. We'll see what... Oh, okay. So you definitely go get a guaranteed sheep here and buy dev. Yep. I think that's fine. And just go get the sheep, pop a dev. I think you're going to end up settling, just thinking about, like, the way you're playing this. But you can fight army. I think the 9's good here, because you don't want red buying devs. Guaranteed sheep. There you go. Boom, boom. Ah, okay. All right. Missed opportunity, right? Like you can go for army. You can go like we could have gone for army 3 orbits ago. These settles are always going to be there. You know, the only time I'd be concerned is if maybe these players had down devs and you're thinking about the road builders or the ops. Who cares about the settle? The settle's going to be there. These are 2 points that you can go pick up more or less whenever you want. Go into the dev deck. Because as soon as this guy buys a knight, your opportunity, your window to get army collapses. Now, fair enough, like red might not buy a knight here. Oh, he will now. Yeah, I feel like double pops, now you're forced to build. Oh, he's not buying devs. Like, oh my goodness. You don't like 4 cities longest road? Well, it's not that, it's just how many devs do you have here? You could also build another city, right? You could also get a settle here. I like the dev, man. But also keep in mind, so the thing is, it's not that you couldn't do it, Pern. You could do both, right? Like you getting army and getting road, honestly, it wouldn't cost you much more to buy the knight. But the thing is, like you've already missed like what 2 or 3 rolls in the last few orbits because the 6 was blocked. So it's like it's not either or. You can do both, but I think like the fact that you pulling devs in that situation just it like really gives your game a ton of momentum. Overall, like you played this well, right? Like I think I'm nitpicking because I think this board is so like I don't think this board is keeping up with just your skill and your rolls right now. But again, like if rogue gets locked by green and red buys a knight, you're kind of forced into like a build to 10 situation, which isn't ideal. You could also do a monster trade here, right? Like you could throw a ton of ore at green, get 2 sheep, and then pop twice. Yeah, black's right. But also, like, black had an opportunity. Ooh. He just gave you... I mean, he probably just gave you game. Definitely pop here, brother. Bird. Oh, all right. So he's going for it. He's going for the city's longest road. Fair enough. I salute you, sir. I guess, you do roll the wheat, technically, right? For, yeah, I like this idea of trying to pop again. I don't think you're getting the trade. Well, it's gonna be an interesting question. Like, if the 11 starts rolling like crazy, they're in a lot of trouble, right? Like, I guess there is a winning combination here. If you get like a 5-10 and then 8-11 plus a roll or something. It's just like, I feel like the thing is, I don't think it would have cost you much more. Like these settles are always there, right? The settle and the brick port, functionally speaking, it doesn't matter. Like you're not going to be porting your brick ever. So essentially what you did there is you're getting an extra pip of wood. It's like there's still so much utility in buying the devs. So I'm going to like die in that hill here, I think. Of course, you could get perfect rolls and win the game. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like you'd already be flipping a knight 2 orbits ago. Now he's going to take road. Let's see it, brother. Yeah, I mean, and you could have been blocking. You could have been playing aggressive knights on him. I don't know if I would have blocked the 9 necessarily, but I think this guy is a road from winning. I think he just has the win. Oh god damn, brother. It's got to be the 9 here, and I think you got to let green take road. Somebody take road. Oh my god. All right. And now he's going to pop. You might as well pop now. You can still go for army. I'd have shared space with 8-3. 8-3 is nice as well. But again, like going back to what he was looking to accomplish, this position's not about space. Okay, well, there you go. Right? Like pulling that VP would have been amazing. And in fact, I believe, isn't that the last dev that has been bought? since you bought the last couple devs, right? Like, I don't think there's been devs bought in the last like 20 minutes. Something worth considering. Perfect. Okay, so now you do have a pretty easy path, right? Like, you can drop 2 cities, you can take army. Oh my god, big block. Yeah. So this is working out pretty well for you. But now there goes your army play. So now you have to, like, oh man, that's rough. You need a 6 here. Oh man, this is what I was saying. Remember, I said if you lose road and you lose army, you have to build the 10. You have to be okay with that. It's exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said. You would have, to be fair, Pern. I mean, okay, you can still take road. Okay, the game's not done yet. I still believe you can win, but this is like, it's getting a lot more uncomfortable than it needs to be. Especially in this situation, like let's say green just drops a ton of roads. Okay, and sure, you can roll 2 6s and win the game that way. But I do have a feeling you're probably going to get smacked. Someone's going to get smacked with a robber here. With his setup, he's allowed to be indecisive. No, I disagree. That's why we're here. We're here to talk strats. Green can win. Green has to extend here. I don't think he sees it. Because red can just win here, right? Like red, let's say red gets, I don't think he has it. I mean, this could be a game for red. Flips a knight, buys a dev. Oh, imagine 3 VPs and flips a knight. Oh. Okay, okay. What do you need to win here, brother? So you have 2. Oh my god. 11 wins? Damn. That's so brutal. Well, you might be able to buy a dev here, right? So if you chuck the wood, I think you need to be able to buy a dev here, man. I would chuck the wood, personally. You have so much wood here. I would chuck all the wood. Oh, it's this decision fatigue is kicking in, man. And this happens, you know, like when it gets kind of messy and chaotic in the end game. Right? And I think this is because like you put yourself in like a weird place where you don't have a win condition, and now it's like, what do I have to do, right? Do I have to keep the wheat for the city drops? Do I want to keep the wood for the road steal? It's like, I truly think this game would have been over maybe 4 or 5 orbits ago if you bought the dev. Do you just win? Hey, all right, pull the VP. Pern, you have to do it. You have to go for the big dev here. Road builders are great. Monos are amazing. VPs are great. He's doing it. This is it. This is the moment right here. He's going to do it. Too late, brother. Okay. What you have to avoid here is you have to avoid a 6 and a mono. That might just be game. I think it's so stupidly close. All right, so you have 10 wins, which is insane. All right, you have 1 winning roll. 1 winning roll. No way. Take it. Oh no, that's actually the game. Don't take that. don't take that. I would do the 1. I would do 1. All right. Does he get the 10 roll? No, he actually does. He has a combination here as well. What he can do, actually, it's pretty interesting. He can roll the 5 and steal the wheat. He can roll the 10, win the game. He can roll an... Is that it? I think that's it. I don't think he has anything else. Oh, he can roll 11 as well and take road. Right? Okay, so 11, 10, and then 5 with the steal. Good luck, sir. Um, or you can steal a wood or brick, right? You got to go for it. You got to go for the steal here on red. I think red is your best shot. Well, the thing is, we know black doesn't have a wood, right? We know this for a fact, but I do believe red does. Yes. Steal from red. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Do you have? You get so close, brother. Could you buy 8? So you also have pop and then city, don't you? Or am I crazy? No, you're short, but you have double pop. Oh my goodness. You pop 2 VPs, dude. That's going to be so legendary. I kind of like the double pop. I mean, there's so much utility. He still has the... He can drop a city, but I think the game's over next turn. So I think he's just got to be able to set himself up here. And plus the mono is disgusting, right? Like you don't want to have extra ore in your hand. Like if you can clear it, it's not a bad play. Ooh. This is tough. This is tough. So I think this is a good moment. I think you need to start doing some counting, right? Like kind of figure out what are the numbers. It feels like there's a lot of nights left, right? We've seen a total of 6 nights played. We probably know red maybe has another. So you're kind of like probably 50-50 on getting something good or getting a night. So I'm kind of the mind that 2 pops isn't bad here, but also like the city's pretty good. But I don't know. 2 pops are very interesting. I'd be very curious to know what his 2 pops would be here, but I think he's going to city. I can't fault him for this. I can't. It's a good play. I think it's principled. Like it's unlikely he's going to win with the 2 devs, right? He needs back-to-back VPs. But he's got a very good shot to win next turn. It's just unfortunate he's probably going to get stolen from. So green can't win. We know this. Unless maybe a 6 is a pop. I don't think it is. So we just have to pray that green extends. What are you saying here? Double pop is risky. It's risky, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's unlikely he's winning this turn. So, like, from that standpoint, I don't mind. Something you need to do in the end game is you need to think about balancing as well. So here, what I would be doing is I'd be speaking, if I'm Pern, I'd be speaking to green and be like, hey, green, I have extra wood. We really need to make sure that you get, you get an extra road down or something, right? Like, use the extra time to communicate how do you balance the end game so that it hopefully gets to you here. So, like, a lot of cases, a player like green might not roll and just immediately pass. And all of a sudden, black wins the game for stupid reasons. So, we'll see if I'm right. He might just pass immediately. But if green's a good player, he'll start to communicate he needs wood and brick. Perfect. Looks like you've embargoed him. Yeah, right there. I mean, that's losing. That's losing. Oh, that has to be the win then. Wow, he just like that. Just like that. Damn, what a bad block. What just a complete failure to launch, and he drops a road, right? For the 11-pointer. It was a really bad block there. Well, I mean, look, you built the 9 points. Yeah, I think honestly with Black's hand, he had it either way. Like, he had enough to drop a city and take road, so he's just flexing at that point. But I can't believe he made that block. I can't believe he made that block. All right, so let's talk about it. I have no doubt in my mind there was that critical moment, probably like 65% of the way through, Pern, where you didn't buy the dev that cost you the game. No doubt in my mind. I know for a fact that's where this game went awry. Because honestly, you played it great. You paced perfectly. You had a port in 2 cities while everyone's still at 4 or 5 points. But what happened is you decided I'm going to go the more difficult route. I'm not going to fight a win condition, which my setup is literally built for. Remember. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Pern. Appreciate that. Remember what I said at the start of this game. There is the 9-5-10 and the 6-5-11, which are built for what? Development cards. And then the 8-5-10 is built for road. And look what happened, right? This player got road, which makes a lot of sense. But I think you just got to realize, like, development cards are great for you here. Tons of utility. Getting armies amazing. Also, the fact that you have robber control and you can deal make with the robber, amazing. So I like your decision. I think the way you played this was an awesome decision. Like, a lot of players probably wouldn't go 8-4-10, but you saw the production. You saw, like, the fact that you can play off the 3-1 port, which was super smart from him. Like, great board vision. Just to make that decision and be like, I'm going for army and I'm going to, like, put my foot down on it. I definitely think that was an opportunity missed. I don't think I would have been able to fight army long term without sheep. No, you had it. You had multiple trades for sheep. Like, for instance, that trade where you could have, instead of dropping the road, you could have traded for the sheep and popped again. And then it's like, what's funny is after you drop the road, the 11 rolled anyways. When it's like, well, all right, I'll drop more roads, right? So in my mind, like, these settles will be there. Like, no one's, like, red's probably never going to plow you unless it's for the win or it's to stop you from winning. So it's like, there's no rush to get these settles, if that makes sense. By the way, everyone here, can you please give, like, a super big thank you and awesomeness to Pern for sharing his game? Which, by the way, like, obviously we're having fun here and I'm saying, oh, you did this or you didn't do that. Like, it does take a lot for somebody to be able to, like, you know, put their ego aside and be like, you know what, I'm going to share this game. I'm going to be vulnerable for, you know, the 45 minutes with the crew and everything. So I don't take that lightly. I appreciate it, Pern. You're a great player, great dude. And, you know, obviously I'm going to say what I need to say because that's the truth of the matter. But I think overall you played this great. It's just like those few indecisive moments I think really came to bite you in the butt. And you felt the effects of it as the game went on from that point, for sure. Thanks, Pern. You played well. He played great, yeah. And something to note, something I was super proud of, because I feel like maybe he wouldn't have done this unless he came through, like, my the TSI. The trading was really good. Like, when he did those multiple trades, I think a lot of people would have given up after, like, the second or third attempt. But the fact that he kept looking for angles of value to work with green, and green eventually broke on the 3-for-1. That's, like, those are the moments that you have to take note of as, like, a motivated player, to be like, those are things you got to start doing in your game. Because you're missing those trades. I know for a fact 80% of you are missing those trades, for sure.